Thanks for plugging into the morning wake up this morning with Stella and Bex. Glad to have your company this morning, especially today, because I think this morning something's going to shift in you this morning that's going to make you make a really, really cool and positive decision. It's 25 minutes after 8 o'clock. Why do I say that? Because we've been talking about World Vision's Chosen campaign, how you can be a selected chosen few that a beautiful child in Tanzania picks, and you could sponsor actually a child. Now, that's all well and good for Bex and I to talk about that. We haven't done that. But somebody in studio who's just joined us now has. Benetta Patrick. Good morning, Benetta. Thanks for plugging in this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Stella and Bex. Thanks.
Okay. What made you decide to go through and be chosen?
Right, so a couple of years ago, World Vision came to my church, and in the lead up to that, and like straight after high school, I'd been working with children for quite a bit, but mainly like within the church atmosphere. And in the lead up, and it was also close to my birthday at the time, and I wanted to do something different. I'd felt God stirring my heart, and He aligned my heart and the purpose of what World Vision does as well together, and the mission that World Vision has, which is really, in simple words, life in all its fullness for these children, especially the most vulnerable children. And so in the lead up to that week, that chosen Sunday, that's really what I felt like God was talking to me about. And so through the service and watching all those videos, I was a complete mess, and I knew I had to say yes. I knew I had to be obedient, and so that's what I did, and that's why I got chosen.
Oh, it's very similar to Tina's story, who we spoke to about 15 minutes ago. She had a stirring in her heart.
Yeah, it sounds like for a few people, they just have that stirring. And I think if you're listening right now and that's been you, I want to encourage you with Benetta's story. Because Benetta, I've heard a little bit. I know that after you decided to join in and get chosen, which maybe you could explain really briefly for us and what that looks like to be chosen by one of these kids, you then monthly, you basically have to keep deciding to choose this because you're signing up back to sponsor a child. That is a commitment. You are a university student, right? You're young, you're not made of money. Tell me how that experience was for you after actually getting chosen and continuing to sponsor this child.
Yeah, you're right. I was living my best student life at the time, and finances can be quite tight.
2-minute noodles.
Yeah. And I think for me it was that first decision, but then also like realizing that every month I need to steward my money correctly, and knowing that this money isn't just a donation that's just gone somewhere and something might happen, but I would see the follow-up in like the reports that I'd received, the letters, the updates on my sponsor child. And so for me it was really rather an investment into this child all the way across the world. And so that's why I decided to choose every single month that yes, I am going to do this.
Even as a student, making what, $2.75 a week. Look at you. We talk about the Chosen campaign, and usually with World Vision, people relate it to sponsoring a child.
Yeah.
They're flipping the script on this one where the child actually chooses you. So you're actually blessed to be chosen in the first place.
Yes.
Is that how the whole thing works now?
Yes, that's right. So, your photo gets sent to the community. And so my sponsored child, Fortune,
What's the name?
Fortune.
Fortune.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Oh.
I love it. And she was so little, but children in these communities don't have a lot of opportunity and choice. They're not spoiled for choice like some of us. And for them to have this empowering decision that they get to make, even as a little child, is just so special. And I'm so glad she chose me because, the following Sunday when I got told who chose me, and when I opened that envelope, I was just so overwhelmed with love. In the lead up, I was nervous and excited, but when I opened that envelope and saw her photo and her holding a photo of me, so she knew who she was, who's supporting her, that was just so special.
Do you get to speak to Fortune? Fortune, or how do you get updated
Yeah.
information from her, and how are things looking for her?
Yeah, so I get to write letters, send photos. So I sent her photos of me and my family, my cat, just would love for her to know a little bit more about me. And I actually have a photo of her in my wallet as well, because it's just such a special bond, Even though I haven't met her and spoken with her, I recently got an update video of her. And, when you go online, you can actually see your sponsor child's photo, a video about them. And I saw that video and it was so cute because the first photo, she was so little, but now she's 5 and now she goes to school and it says that she's in primary in year 1 and it's just so special.
so good.
Yeah.
And that is so significant, even the fact that she's able to go to school as a primary school girl, because a lot of kids in this community that Bjorn's in right now in Tanzania, some of those girls can't get to go to school because they're finding water every single day. They're hustling 5 hours a day sometimes just to get dirty water, but it's all they have. And so you've enabled Fortune to actually have an education. And that's so, so cool. So what would you say to someone listening right now who's, I don't know, been thinking about it maybe, but isn't quite sure, but does have the means to give?
Yeah, I would say that it's a choice you make. And it's not just, you're donating, but it's actually an investment. And it might not make a return on you immediately, directly, but it's an investment in not just one child, but the 4 children that also receive the benefits from that. And, years from now, you're empowering them to leave poverty, to move up and out of that. And so I would encourage you, if this is something you've been thinking about, that you should say yes. And, Chosen is just so special. It's such an important and, a way for children to make that choice. And so I think if you're thinking about it, then do it. Say yes. Text us.
Yeah, there's a stirring in people's. I could feel a stirring in people's lives and people's hearts right now because of what you just said and shared with us. Benetta, thank you so much for popping in this morning. We couldn't have said it any better because we haven't been able to experience that, but you have, and I think Fortune is very, very blessed to have you, as much as you're blessed to have her. So you heard the call, man. If it's stirring in your heart this morning and you're in a position to give, if that's you, would you jump into lifefm.co.nz? Works out to be about $13 a week, about just under $2 a day. So if that's you, you will be changing not only the life of one, but the life of many. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
You're going to be blessed. Yeah.
Yeah. Amen. Hey, we're blessed to have you.
You're amazing.
Yeah,
Love
thanks.
hearing your
So lovely
story.
to be
Thanks for
here.
popping
Thank
in.
you.